Hello there. Do you guys remember that we already discussed Erikson's 8 stages by age in our earlier videos? Let's cover the same in detail now. 8 stages, 8 conflicts, 8 virtues. Erikson's theory of development looks enormous, and in NORCET, it is one of the most heavily tested topics in all of behavioral science. But by the end of this video, you will not just memorize it, you will truly understand it. Let's begin. Erikson was a psychologist who believed something powerful, that we keep growing our entire lives, from the first breath to the last. He described 8 stages, and at each one, we meet a central conflict, resolve it well, and we gain a lasting strength he called a virtue, resolve it poorly, and we carry a weakness forward. Before the details, lock the order with one line. Trust, autonomy, initiative, industry, identity, intimacy, generativity, integrity. Say it twice and the ladder is yours. Stage 1. Trust versus mistrust. The first year of life. A baby depends completely on others. When feeding, comfort, and care arrive reliably, the infant learns the world is safe and gains the virtue of hope. When care is harsh or unpredictable, mistrust takes root. As a nurse, this is exactly why gentle, consistent handling of an infant matters so deeply. Stage 2. Autonomy versus shame and doubt. The toddler years 1 to 3. The child wants to do things alone walk, feed, choose. Encourage that independence, and the child builds will. Criticize or over control, and shame and doubt grow. This is the toddler who proudly says, I can do it myself. Stage 3. Initiative versus guilt. The preschool years 3 to 6. Now the child begins to plan, lead, and ask endless questions. Support this curiosity, and the virtue of purpose appears. Shut it down with constant scolding, and the child feels guilt for simply trying. Stage 4. Industry versus inferiority. The school years 6 to 12. The child compares themselves to others and works hard to feel capable. Praise effort and achievement, and competence grows. Repeated failure or harsh comparison breeds a sense of inferiority. Stage 5. Identity versus role confusion. Adolescents 12 to 18. This is the stage NORCET loves most. The teenager asks the biggest question, who am I? A clear, accepted sense of self brings the virtue of fidelity. Confusion about values, career, and role leaves the teen lost. When you nurse adolescents, remember, they need respect for their emerging identity. Stage 6. Intimacy versus isolation. Young adulthood 18 to 40. Having found themselves, the young adult seeks deep, committed relationships. Success brings love. Fear of closeness brings isolation and loneliness. Stage 7. Generativity versus stagnation. Middle adulthood 40 to 65. Now the focus shifts outward, raising children, mentoring, giving back to society. This brings the virtue of care. Without it, a person feels stuck and self absorbed. Stagnation. Stage 8. Ego integrity versus despair. Late adulthood 65 and beyond. Looking back over a whole life, the person feels either deep satisfaction, integrity, and wisdom, or bitter regret, despair. As a nurse caring for the elderly, helping them find meaning in their story is part of true care. Now see them together. 8 stages, each with its age, its conflict, and its virtue. Hope, will, purpose, competence, fidelity, love, care, and wisdom. One unbroken chain across an entire human life. Here is your high yield note set fact. Write this down. Adolescence, roughly 12 to 18 years, is identity versus role confusion, and its virtue is fidelity. And the very first stage, infancy, is trust versus mistrust, with the virtue of hope. These two endpoints are tested again and again. One more exam point. Erikson's stages are psychosocial, meaning shaped by society and relationships. That is what separates him from Freud, whose stages were psychosexual. Examiners place that contrast in your paper on purpose. So look how far you have come. What seemed like 8 confusing terms is now a clear ladder, one you can climb in either direction, matching age to stage to virtue without a flicker of doubt. That is not memorizing, that is mastery, and mastery is what turns a nervous student into a confident, caring nurse. This is your Sara. Keep learning, keep caring. See you in the next one.